What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis, and on today's video we are going to talk about the differences between a symmetrical bowling ball and an asymmetrical bowling ball. But before we get into that, please consider subscribing. Something like 60% of you guys are not subscribed. I would appreciate it if you just took a second and hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, welcome. Again, my name is Lewis. I do ball reviews, comparisons, tournament blogs, sports shot analysis, basically these kind of how-to videos, basically anything bowling related. It's a safe space for everyone of all skill levels, and I'd appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button. Down below in the description, there's going to be a link where you can order any of the bowling balls featured in today's video or anything bowling related. It's a great way to help support the channel. The ball spinners that the balls are sitting on by a company called DH Lab. Link also down below in the description. As always, if you like the jersey, coolweek.com, promo code Napoles10. That gets you 10% off your entire order. Also, howtobowl.com. These things, the spiel's getting longer and longer. But howtobowl.com, if you use promo code Lewis, they get you 30% off your annual membership. And this howtobowl.com is a website that I am using to try to get better at bowling, and I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. All right, so what's the difference between an asymmetrical ball and a symmetrical ball? Well, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of that. The one thing that I do wanna show you guys here is that this mark right here is gonna be the biggest difference. So both of these bowling balls have a pin, you can see right here. Both of these bowling balls have a CG marker right here. And then this one has here, which is called the mass bias, right? It doesn't have one on this one. So if it doesn't have it, it's a symmetrical ball. If it does have it, if it has 3 marks, it's an asymmetrical ball. Well, what does that mean, right? So when I talk about these sort of things, I do want you guys to keep in mind that surface is going to play the biggest factor in all of this, right? Layout's going to help a little bit, but surface is going to be the most important thing. In a nutshell, a symmetrical ball will be more stable. So it's going to be more round, more predictable type of ball motion. Again, surface is going to dictate everything. I can't stress that enough. Asymmetrical balls, okay, well, let's start in what the cores actually look like, right? So in a symmetrical ball, if you cut it in half, one side of the core versus the other side of the core is going to look exactly the same. Symmetrical. And because of that, it doesn't matter where you shift the CG to, it's going to be symmetrical no matter what. So when you cut the core in half, it's going to look exactly the same on one side versus the other. And that's going to cause, like I said, a more stable ball roll, very predictable, rounder type of motion. And again, surface going to dictate everything. In an asymmetrical core, it's exactly the opposite. If you cut the core in half, one side of the core is going to look different than the other side of the core. And what that does for a ball motion standpoint is that it's going to cause a more of an imbalance, right? When you roll the ball down the lane. So it's going to be more dynamic. It's going to want to turn the corner a little bit harder. It's going to want to come off the spot a little bit harder. Typically, asymmetrical balls are also stronger to kind of combat that. So if you ever see like weaker asymmetrical balls, they tend to really flip down lane because of that imbalance. So today we have the 900 Global Harsh Reality and the Rotogrip Optimum Idol. Both of these are solids. Both of these are sanded to the same surface, being 2000, and both of these have very strong covers. And the layouts are the same, being 30 by 4.5 by 30. So we're gonna be here on lane 3 at Samstown on a completely fresh, typical house shot, so that we can see what the differences look like on the lane between a symmetrical ball and an asymmetrical ball. And I chose these for a reason because the core numbers are very, very similar. RG and differential, very, very similar. Obviously, the Harsh Reality has an asymmetry to it where the Optimum Idol does not. Let me know down below in the comments, do you guys prefer symmetrical balls or asymmetrical balls? Let me know. We'll see you on the lanes. All right, first shot of the video here, we're going to start in the Harsh Reality, which is the asymmetric ball in the video. So you can already see how dynamic that is, going from hook to the pins. We'll throw one more shot from there, then we'll get into the symmetrical idol to see how that differs. I've forgotten how good this Harsh Reality is. So we'll throw one more with this one, then we'll get into the symmetrical idol. I missed right by a mile, still recovered. I don't know that the idle comes back from there, but before we get into the idle, I want to throw one more good shot with that harsh reality first. All right, so let's make a good shot. That one got my elbow all out, missed right. Let's keep everything in, make a good shot here. There we go. Now from that was a really good shot. Now we're gonna go from that into the idle to see what the differences look like. All right, same spot here with the idle. We'll see what it does, then I'll make an adjustment off this shot here. Remember, this is the symmetrical core here. Yeah, I mean, I can see a oh, there we go. I can see a huge difference though. When the harsh reality, the asymmetric core, gets to the spot, it really wants to make its move, make its turn more violently than this idle. The idle was way smoother off the spot, way more rounder. So it's on us as bowlers to determine, do we need a strong ball? The answer is yes. These are two good options, the optimum idle and the harsh reality. And the next question is, do we need an asymmetric or a symmetric? All right, so because of how smooth that was and how much it labored to get to the head pin, I'm gonna move 2 right with my feet, 1 right with my eyes, get this ball a little closer to the friction, more up the lane, and see how this looks. Yeah, that's perfect. That 2-in-1 move was absolutely perfect. Now the ball's in the right part of the lane, and it looked really good. Still the same characteristics, still very smooth, still very round, still very predictable. For me, what I look for to determine if I want to be in a symmetrical ball or an asymmetrical ball is just that. If I'm bowling on a lot of friction and I want to be a little bit closer, a little bit straighter, I'm going to look at those symmetrical balls. If I'm forced in early, that's when I'm really going to take a look at those asym balls. I think both of these look great so far. So my goal for the end of this video is to determine which one I would go with if I was bowling for score. All right, again here with the idle, same spot, just to repeat, just to confirm, then we'll get back into that asymmetric harsh reality. Yeah, I think for me in my game, I think that's a really good look. I love playing straighter. I love keeping the ball a little bit more in front of me, and you cannot argue with those results. If I was forced a little bit further left, I think that the harsh reality, hey listen, the harsh reality looks good also, the asymmetric ball. I just think for what I'm seeing right now, I want a more predictable motion. And as I have to move in and I need more dynamic, then I can get into an asymmetrical ball. Maybe like the harsh reality, depending on the volume. I can get into the attention star, I can get into the DNA coil. A lot of really good options. That looks good, man. All right, so I'm gonna move another couple left. Let's go 3 left here with the harsh reality, which is the asymmetrical ball, a little bit more dynamic. See if I can still get to the pocket here. Yeah, so that might be a little bit too far left. So I'm gonna move like another 1 or 2 back right. But you can see it's just way more dynamic when it encounters that friction versus the symmetrical ball. I think that if I was bowling for score, lights came on right now, I'm in the idle. And I'm not saying that the idle's a better ball than the harsh reality. It's just a more predictable motion on the fresh, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Sometimes it'll be the opposite. Sometimes you need a more dynamic ball on the fresh. But for right now, for me, what I'm seeing right here on lane 3, I like the idle. So in reviewing that shot, that last one, it looked like I missed it a little bit right. So I'm gonna go to the same spot, throw another shot, and my goal is to get it down lane somewhere in that like 8, 9, 10 range. And let's see if we can do that right here on this shot. Right there. Okay, so there we go. That's kind of the spot I want it to be. I don't really want to shove it to the right, even though it is more dynamic. Remember, surface is everything. This is a 2000 finish on this ball. Very strong, very smooth. That's a good one. Let's go to the idle now. All right, let's move back right to where I think the idle looks good. This is where I would be at for score right here. Yeah, that just looks so, so good. We're gonna throw a couple more shots from there and then we're gonna wrap up this video. I hope my goal for this video is for you guys to have a better understanding on the differences between a symmetrical ball and an asymmetrical ball. And in this video in particular, I went with 2 balls that are very similar. Both strong solid covers, same surface, same layout, very similar RGs, very similar differentials. Yeah, that's just like the money spot right there. So let's throw another good shot from there. Oh, give me that. And that's when you know you're in the right part of the lane. A shot that wasn't as very good, still got enough of the head pin to carry them all. Wait till you hit it with a little more surface too. All right, couple more shots here, round off this video. We're gonna stick in the idle because it's definitely the right ball right now. Got that right a little bit. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, couple more shots here. Just be better. Oh, that's a bad shot. Oh, there we go. All right, very, very last shot of the video. Again, if I was bowling for score, the symmetric solid in this case wins by a landslide. That's pretty good. That's 279, Tim. Let's go. So yeah, that's gonna be the biggest differences, guys. A symmetrical core is gonna wanna be rounder, smoother, more predictable, where an asymmetrical core is gonna wanna be more dynamic, a little bit more change of direction. Now, layout is gonna factor in there a lot, and surface is gonna factor in there even more. So as an example, if I had this idle shiny with polish versus the harsh reality at 2000 finish, the idle's gonna wanna be a little bit cleaner through the fronts. It's gonna wanna produce more shape because of that polish. So keep that in mind. We'll see you on the next one. What's up, Travis?